This is Orlando Sentinel Now.
Hello and welcome. It's Thursday, August 19th, and this is Orlando Sentinel Now. Today, we're talking about a recovery in Florida tourism numbers, as well as a replacement to Disney's FastPass system, plus a Florida fresh air feature. I'm your host, Joe Mario Pedersen, and joining me today, I have tourism reporter Katie Rice and Things to Do reporter Patrick Connolly. Thank you both so much for being here today. Let's go ahead and jump right into the news. Katie, coming to you first here for one of your latest headlines. Florida tourism numbers show a strong comeback from the pandemic. Now, recent data from quarter 2 here shows us this growth. In what indicators did we see that?
Yeah, so in the second quarter, which covers April through June, Florida as a whole saw a total of almost 32 million visitors tracked by Visit Florida. So those numbers really only account for the out-of-state visitors. So that only gives us a really snapshot of the true state of tourism there. But it still marks over a 200% increase over the second quarter of 2020, during which a lot of the theme parks were closed, the convention center was closed, a lot of the big attractions for the area were closed. So understandably, tourism took a dip. So state data also showed that Orlando International Airport had the highest passenger volume of all the Florida airports, with over 5 million total passengers. And that was a 670% increase from 2020's second quarter. And that means that Orlando saw more boarded passengers departing than airports like Miami.
And what about other indicators such as like hotel occupancy? Did we see any increases in that area?
Absolutely. Hotel occupancy and demand both increased in the Orlando area specifically, and occupancy increased by something like 60% and demand increased by over 300% respectively. And then Orlando's tourism development tax, which is 6%, also increased by over 1,000% to over 55 million over that same April through June period. And these numbers come from Visit Orlando, which tracks both in and out of state visitors. So they're going to look a little bit different than the state data. But people from both agencies said the numbers looked encouraging as we see tourism rebound from the early months of the pandemic.
Certainly, some exciting news there for many whose livelihood depends on that. But experts don't believe that we're going to continue to see that recovery here in the short term. Why do they think that that might be curtailed?
So the experts from the tourism agencies were very measured and cautious in predicting how those numbers might hold into the future. Tourism typically drops in the third quarter as children return to school in the fall. And then this year, the industry is also facing concerns about spikes in positive COVID cases and the surge of the Delta variant of the coronavirus. So while both Visit Florida and Visit Orlando were fairly measured in their fall predictions, they said they were monitoring state and local health metrics and encouraging safe travel, however that may look.
Gotcha. Some pretty cool stuff there. If you're all interested in finding out more, take a look at Katie's work online at orlandosentinel.com. But Katie, before I let you go here, I want to talk to you about another story that you got. This headline being Disney World replaces free fast pass system with paid reservation service. This coming in part of the form of an app that they're releasing, Disney Genie. Can you tell us a little bit about what Disney Genie is?
Yes, big exciting news out of Disney this week. So essentially, Disney Genie is Disney's new planning service at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So it's within the domestic parks. And it's going to be located within the existing My Disney Experience app locally and the Disneyland app for Anaheim visitors. So basically, Disney is saying that Disney Genie is going to provide guests a more personalized, customizable experience in the parks and provide them up-to-date information that helps them plan their days and enjoy their time more and spend less time in line, essentially. It's also going to give them feedback on things like wait times, dining reservations, and help them fit their park experience to their interests. So, like we saw a screenshot that said, "Are you interested in Star Wars? Are you interested in Disney princesses?" And clicking on one of those things would help them shape their time within the parks tailored to their personalized interests. But the service also has a paid tier in Disney Genie Plus, which is designed to replace the previous FastPass system. So at Disney World Resort, this means guests will pay a flat $15 per ticket per day fee and be able to access over 40 different attractions across the four parks. But they can only make one ride reservation at a time starting the morning of their visit. And the queuing system that Disney is using for this is called Lightning Lane. So instead of FastPass, we're going to start seeing some Lightning Lane signage pretty soon, I would anticipate. And then on top of that Lightning Lane feature, a separate feature under the same umbrella means guests will be able to reserve different individual attractions that are in higher demand. So that's going to include things that typically draw large lines, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and they also mentioned the upcoming ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure will also be included in that. So that those attractions are going to be available for an additional fee on an a la carte basis. And while specific price points have not been announced, Disney says that they'll vary by attraction, by date. So I'm sure we'll be seeing more information about that soon.
Absolutely. It surely sounds like you said, it offers the user more autonomy on their park experience. As far as when possible users might be able to look forward to the app's release, did Disney say when that might be?
So Disney Genie is expected to be released on the My Disney Experience app this fall, but we don't have a more specific timeline than that yet. So industry experts have told me they've explored the app, so it seems user-friendly to a certain degree, but we'll have to wait and see for more specifics.
Absolutely. And if you all are interested in finding out more information, Katie has more details available on her story at orlandosentinel.com. Katie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Patrick Connolly's here, which means it's time for another Florida Fresh Air feature. This time, Patrick, you're taking us to Airport Lakes Park. Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. Well, it's funny that we're talking about tourism today because, Airport Lakes Park is right near Orlando International Airport, MCO. It came onto my radar because I'm kind of a casual disc golfer. I got really into the hobby at the beginning of the pandemic and then sort of fell off the wagon. And more recently, I'm like, oh, wait, I have a disc golf bag. I should take it out. And so Airport Lakes Park has a little 9-hole course, and that's how it sort of ended up on my radar. But as the name might suggest, it is very close to the airport. I would say it provides a really good alternative for the cell phone waiting lot. Like, let's say, you're going to pick up someone from the airport and they're a bit delayed. Well, forget the cell phone lot. Come get a little dose of nature out here. It's a 56-acre park managed by the city of Orlando. And as I mentioned, disc golf. They also have 2 soccer fields if you're looking for more active recreation, playground for the young ones, and there's a boardwalk that lets out to Lake Warren, and that's actually where you can see some planes flying overhead and stuff. So it's definitely not very far removed from all the hustle and bustle, and you're going to hear planes and everything. But still, like I said, I would much prefer it to the cell phone waiting lot. Go out there. There's some covered pavilions. You can read a book, have a little picnic, and spend some time in nature if you or if you're on a layover too and have some time. It's funny, I was looking on the Professional Disc Golf Association website, and they called it the ultimate layover course, which seems to be true. So,
I mean, it sounds pretty cool, actually, especially if you're interested in watching planes fly overhead. Sounds like a great opportunity for a picnic. But Patrick, if anyone is interested in heading on over there, what are some things they should know before they go?
it's open 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. You're feel free to bring your leashed pets. Like I said, it'd be a good idea to bring a book or a little picnic. There's some pavilions you can enjoy under. You can hike on the little nature trail they have. You can fish from the pier. You can play soccer. You can play disc golf. There's the playground. And of course, alcoholic beverages are prohibited in the park. Don't disturb plants or animals. And yeah, I would say, as for the disc golf course specifically, there are some obstacles back in the trees, but for all you disc golfers out there, each hole has 2 tees and 2 baskets, so you can kind of choose your level of difficulty. So especially if you're just starting out, it's a fun little 9-hole course just to kind of cut your teeth on a little bit. So definitely a bit to explore there.
Yeah, well, there you go. A lot of opportunity out there, it sounds like. If you're interested in finding out more, Patrick's Florida Fresh Airs come out every Friday, so be on the lookout at orlandosentinel.com. Patrick, thank you so much. All right. Before we leave you all today, we do want to talk about Thursday's weather presented by Premier Sotheby's International Realty. It's the second day in a row for triple digit heat index temperatures in Orlando. Orlando's high is looking at a warm 95 degrees Thursday, but with the combined humidity, the heat index will cause time outside to feel like 102 between noon and 4 p.m. Orlando's low should be around 78 at night with some nice reprieve there. As for storm odds, chances are low at 30% during the day and 10% at night. The coming days should have higher chances of thunderstorms with increased moisture in the area, bringing chances up to 50% Friday and Saturday. But for that weekend weather outlook, be sure to take a look at orlandosentinel.com for more, where, of course, you can find the stories that we talked about here today and much, much more. For those of you who are subscribers to the Orlando Sentinel, thank you so much for supporting our work and supporting local journalism. If you want to become a supporter, it's easy to do so. All you need to do is visit orlandosentinel.com/subscribe. But as for OSN, that is our show here for today. A big thank you to Katie and Patrick for keeping us filled in what's going on in our community. We'll be back again with more news tomorrow at noon. We'll see you then. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Watch Orlando Sentinel Now live every weekday at noon on our Facebook page and on orlandosentinel.com.